Welcome students to our maths class. Let's learn chapter 14, Banks and Simple Interest. So in your textbook on page number 73, the lesson Banks and Simple Interest, you will see there is one picture they have given, and if you look at the picture very carefully, you will observe that this is a picture of a bank. Okay, students, you must have visited a bank, maybe not alone, maybe with your parents or with some other elder person, and you must have seen there that there are many counters over there in the bank, and at each counter you will see there is at least one person who is attending the people who have come to the bank. Okay, now why do we go to a bank? Okay, why do we visit a bank? Okay, you have always heard or you have always known bank means something related to money. Correct? So this is one picture of a bank. You can see here at each counter you will see there is one person who is sitting. Okay, and there are people who have come to the bank and they are doing their transactions or they are doing their work over there. Okay, so now a bank is actually, just now I spoke that bank means something related to money. Okay, so a bank is nothing but a government recognized organization that carries out transaction of money. Now what is transaction of money? Transaction means giving and taking of money. Okay, so it's a financial organization. Finance relates to money. Finance relates to money which is given here. Okay, so anything, any any activity related to money, whether it is giving of money or taking of money, that is called transaction of money, and that is being carried out in a bank. Okay, now why do we need something like a bank or financial organization in order to handle our money? If we are having money, we can keep it with us. Okay, why there is a necessity to keep the money in the bank, what we are having or which we own? So yes, whatever money we have, we cannot keep all the money in our house because it's a risk. Okay, maybe we can be robbed, and therefore we keep money with us, but only a limited amount we keep with us, and the rest of the money what we have earned, we always keep it in the bank. Okay, for safety. And the other very important reason is the saving when we deposit, or when I've used the word deposit, I will explain you what is that later. But when we keep the money in the bank, it is not only that our money is safe, but it also grows. Grows means it also increases. Now how all this happen? Now a simple example, whatever money we have, we don't need all that amount at a time. Okay, we don't spend that full amount at a time. But there are some times when we need a big fat amount of money. Okay, and maybe for some admissions in the school, admission in the college, sometimes we have functions, we have weddings, we have birthday parties. Okay, and there are so many other reasons where we need a big amount of money which we need to spend. Okay, but at times we need for our regular day-to-day activities or for a regular life, we don't need a big amount of money. So whenever we need a big amount of money, we can remove the money what is kept in the bank, okay, which we own, and we can use it. Okay, so actually a bank is a medium, or a bank is a place where we save our money. Okay, where our money is safe and saved. Both are two different words. We save our money so that in future when we need a big amount of money, we can utilize it. Okay, and it is safe. Safe means if we keep that money at home, maybe we are not sure that that money is safe. It may be robbed, and therefore as a security we keep it in the bank. And one more reason I said that our money also increases. Now why and how it happens? Now as I told you, bank is not only to keep money, but we can even take money from the bank. Okay. Now sometimes we need a big amount of money. For example, I have around 10,000 rupees, but I need at a time amount of 20,000. That means I need 10,000 extra for anything, for any reason. Okay, for maybe admissions, or I have a wedding at home, or any other, or maybe for somebody in the house is not well and is hospitalized, and I need to pay the money over there for medical expenses. So if I need any extra money, in that case the bank also gives you money. Okay, now if the bank is giving you money, we have to return the money back to the bank. Okay, so if I have taken 10,000 rupees from the bank, that amount 10,000 is called as a loan. Okay, that loan amount 10,000 bank will give me at one time. Okay, but when I am returning it to the bank, I need not return that full 10,000 at a time. I can return it every month with a small amount. That is a fixed amount which the bank will decide how much I have to pay. So every month I will be giving a small amount which is a fixed amount, and I will be giving it so that I complete my 10,000. But it is not that I only have to give 10,000. I have to give something extra. That is called the interest. Because bank has given me money when I need it, and bank has given me one full amount of 10,000. But when I'm returning it to the bank, I have to pay some extra money to the bank, and that is called interest. Okay, this was a case when bank is giving me money, which is a loan. When we are keeping some amount in the bank, for example, I'm having 50,000 rupees. I don't want to keep at home because I don't feel it is safe. So I keep it in the bank, and when I keep the money in the bank, it is called deposit. So when I deposit the amount 50,000 in the bank will keep that money safely, and bank will use that money for other transactions. Okay, and since we are keeping that big amount with the bank, and bank is able to use that money for its other transactions, bank will also give me some extra amount along with that 50,000 when I keep it for a period of time. Okay, so if I keep that 50,000 for around 1 month, if I have deposited that amount, I explained you what is deposited. Deposited means I have kept that money with the in the bank. Okay, so if today I have kept that 50,000 in the bank, I have deposited 50,000 in the bank, and after 1 month, if I remove or withdraw, now removing money is called as withdrawal. Okay, when I withdraw that 50,000, when I remove that amount from the bank, I will not only get 50,000, but I will get something extra amount. That is called interest. So when we are keeping the money in the bank, that is when we are depositing, or when we are taking the loan from the bank. Both the places there is a word interest which I have used. So if we are giving the money to the bank will give us the interest. If the bank is giving us the money, then we have to give bank the interest. Okay, and this is a transaction what happens. Okay, so we will study more in detail about it in this lesson. Now in your textbook on page number 74, this full page is omit. Okay, now we move on to page number 75. bank accounts. Now just now what I explained you all, the transaction of bank, that we can keep the money in the bank, we can take the money out from the bank, or even if I want some extra amount which I don't have, okay, if I'm in need of 50,000 which I don't have with me, in that case bank can give you that 50,000, but I have to return that amount to the bank, not only 50 but extra amount also, and that extra amount is called interest. So before that, bank accounts, before keeping the money in the bank, taking out the money from the bank, or asking for a loan, I told you all what is loan. If we want extra money from bank, it is called loan. So all these things we need bank account. Okay, that is, we have to be a member of a bank, then only we can follow all these transactions. Okay, so basically there are many types of accounts, but the main accounts what we are going to study here is saving account, current account. Then we have still further in detail, if we try to study, there are fixed deposit, there are facilities, that is fixed deposit facility, there is a recurring deposit facility, and there are many more. So these are the main ones which we will discuss here. Okay, now to use the banking services, one has to open an account. As I told you, open an account means we have to be a member of that bank. For that we need to present some documents. Okay, that is a proof of residence and proof of identity. So if we go to a bank and if we ask them that we want to be a member of your bank and we want to open an account in your bank, then they will tell us that okay, you all have to bring all these formalities we have to follow, and we have to bring all these documents. Okay, so ration card, electricity bill, telephone bill, domicile certificate, identity card. Okay, not all of these, but maybe any two of these, residence proof, or sometimes they ask only one residence proof and one identity proof. So what is identity proof? Aadhaar card, which is very common everywhere, voters ID, then there is PAN card, there is passport. Okay, where we have our photo and our name, that is called proof of identity. And proof of residence means where we have our name and where we have our address, residence. Okay, now these are the things, documents what we will need in order to open an account, and then we have to fill a form, then we have to submit our photographs. Okay, and then bank will issue us a book which is called a passbook. Then there is another book which is called a checkbook. Okay, and there is a card, there is an ATM card, there are other cards also. So these are the things what we will get only after we open an account in the bank. Now talking about the different accounts, and I was telling you all about saving account and current account. Now saving account means you can deposit money in this account, and an account holder can when deposit, as I told you, when we are keeping the money, we are depositing the money in the bank. In this saving account, whenever money is available or is we have any amount, we can deposit that amount in the saving account. We can even withdraw money or we can remove the money from the saving account, but occasionally. Okay, there is a restriction, the number of times you withdraw or deposit the money in a day. Okay, and bank also gives us some extra money on what we have kept. So bank gives us interest, sometimes 4%, 6%, depends, okay, on that money what we have saved or which we have deposited. Then the person who has deposited the amount, or account holder, a person who has an account in the bank, they will get, as I told you, a passbook, they will get a checkbook, they will get an ATM card. Okay, and that person can also continue transactions through mobile, which is called a mobile banking, SMS banking. Then there is internet banking. There are so many facilities now which are come up, through which we can transact our money which is there in the bank. Okay, and then the other account, that is the current account. The current account usually is handled by business people. Okay, the one who are having a business, a person who has transactions which are they have to do many transactions in a day. Okay, in that case, in this current account, there is no restriction of how many transactions you are going to do in a day. Okay, you can deposit, you can withdraw as many times you want in the current account. Okay, but one of the thing what is different from the saving account, that is we don't get any interest, we don't get any extra money from the bank when we keep the or deposit the amount in this current account. Only that is the difference. After this, what are the facilities? As I told you, there are many facilities in the bank. Out of that, which two are discussed here is the fixed deposit and the recurring deposit. Now, what is a fixed deposit? If we have a particular amount, okay, that amount we can give it to the bank. The bank will keep that amount, that full lump sum amount, and for a particular period of time. That may be a 1 year of time, or that may be 2 years, or that may be 1.5 years, depending on what we want and the facility what the bank is given. And in between, in that period of time, maybe for 1 year, we cannot withdraw that amount. Only after that 1 year is completed, what we call as maturity. Okay, only when that 1 year is completed or 1.5 years is completed, then only we can remove that amount. But when we remove that amount, the amount what we have deposited, along with that we get some interest, and that interest is naturally more than what we keep in the saving account. Okay, so fixed deposit is one facility, that if we have a big amount we can deposit and then we can keep it for a period of time. But it is not like a saving account. Saving account, anytime we can withdraw the money, but in fixed deposit, whatever term we have decided with the bank, only when we complete that term, maybe of 1 year or maybe of 1.5 years, whatever, only after that we can get the money back. But we will get the money along with an extra money which is called as interest. Okay, then after that is recurring deposit. Now recurring is a particular amount is decided, and that amount every month we have to deposit in this recurring account, or in this scheme, or in this particular account what we are going to open as recurring deposit. And it will be a term is also decided. Okay, for how many months we are going to deposit that amount. For example, I'm going to deposit 1,000 every month for 2 years. Okay, so if I deposit 1,000 for 2 years, 2 years means 24 months. Okay, so after 24 months, I have given 24,000 to the bank. After 2 years, the bank will not return me only 24,000. The bank will return me whatever is the interest rate, whatever is the percent of interest the bank is going to give me. The bank will give me some extra amount. So if for 2 years I'm depositing 1,000 every month in the recurring account, after 2 years I should get 24,000, but I will get something extra along with 24,000. Okay, so that is what is recurring deposit. How all this extra amount, what I'm talking about, extra amount, it is actually the interest, and how this interest has been calculated, that we are going to study now. Now whatever amount what we are going to keep in the bank, or what we take from the bank, so as I told you, what we deposit or what we take as a loan or what we borrow from the bank, that is called as the principal. Now when we are calculating the interest on this principal, okay, the loan what we are going to take from the bank, or the deposit, the money what we are going to keep in the bank, okay, the interest what has been calculated, the rate of interest is given for every 100 rupees. We are not going to take 100 rupees as a loan. Naturally we are going to take a bigger amount, but the rate of interest is calculated with respect to 100 rupees. Okay, so the rate of interest is also given as PCPA, that is percent per annum, and it gives the amount of interest due on every 100 rupees for a period of 1 year. Okay, so 100 rupees and for 1 year. So the time what we calculate here is 1 year, and the rate what we calculate here is calculated as percent per annum. Okay, and the rate is given, the rate of interest is given on rupees 100. Okay, so we will see in the exercise how do we calculate for a particular example. Now here in the practice set 35, the third and the fourth sum is cancelled. So the first sum, at a rate of 10 PCPA, what would be the interest for 1 year on 6,000 rupees? So the rate of interest which is given is 10% per annum, and as the time limit is 1 year and on 6,000. So 6,000 becomes the principal amount. So they have not given here whether this 6,000 is borrowed, is taken as a loan or deposited. This is just a normal question that the principal amount is 6,000. On the 6,000 the rate of interest is 10 PCPA, and the time for what it is being the transaction is done is for 1 year. Okay, now the simple way of solving this is, there is a formula, interest is equal to principal into rate of interest into number of years upon 100. Okay, which is also written as interest is equal to PRN upon 100. I is for interest, P for principal, R is the rate of interest, and N is the number of years upon 100. The principal is 6,000, rate of interest is 10 PCPA, number of years is 1 year. So that we just substitute in this formula, 6,000 into 10 into 1 upon 100, 2 zeros we cancel, 60 into 10 is 600. So for 1 year, the interest what we will get on rupees 6,000 is rupees 600. Okay, so if we deposit 6,000 rupees for 1 year at an interest of 10 PCPA, when we get the money back, we don't get 6,000 only, but we also get 600 rupees extra. This 600 rupees is the interest. Okay, now here only I would like to explain. For example, if we keep this 6,000 principal amount, if we deposit, okay, in the bank after 1 year at this rate 10 PCPA, the amount what I will get back is 6,600. 6,000 what we had deposited and plus 600. So total amount what I can get back is 6,600. So what we have done here is we have added the principal and the interest. So this will help you to understand the next sum. Now in the next sum, Mahesh deposited rupees 8,650 in a bank at a rate of 6 PCPA. How much money will he get at the end of the year in all? So Mahesh has deposited this much amount at the rate of 6 PCPA for 1 year. Okay, so let's see. The principal amount, the deposited amount is 8,650. The rate of interest is 6 PCPA. Number of year is 1 year. Same formula, interest is equal to P into R into N upon 100. I explained you, P is principal, R is rate of interest, and N is number of years. Now we just have to substitute principal as 8650, rate as 6, N as 1 upon 100. Okay, and when we calculate, when we cancel, here we get 519. Now 519 is the interest. Mahesh had deposited 8,650 and the interest what we got is 519. So total amount what Mahesh will get at the end of 1 year will be his amount, principal amount plus interest. That is, principal plus interest is equal to amount. 8650 plus 519, which is equal to 9169. Therefore, Mahesh will get rupees 9169 at the end of the year. Okay. In this way, you will write the final answer. So in this lesson, we just had two sums, the first and the second, and we are going to solve both the sums with the help of this formula. Interest is equal to principal into rate into number of year upon 100. If we have to just find the interest, we will use only this one formula. If we have to find the amount also, the amount is what? At the end of the given term, 1 year or 2 year or whatever, what is the total amount what we will get? Okay, that is interest plus the principal. So here in this case, we are using two formulas. Interest is equal to P into R into N upon 100. After getting the interest, we add the principal and the interest to get the total amount what we will receive at the end of that 1 year. Same thing will happen with the loan. If this was the amount what Mahesh had taken as a loan, then while returning it to the bank, Mahesh has to return 8,650 as well as 519 as an extra money to the bank. Okay, so this particular thing is for when we borrow the money from the bank as well as when we deposit the money in the bank. Okay. Thank you and have a nice day.